Hey, podcast friends. This is Dr. Steve Hewlett with the podcast, Simple Healthy Choices for Weight Loss, where every week we help people who have realized that as their health has been declining over the years, the number of medications they are being prescribed is increasing. We want to help you reverse this health path so you can live the vibrant, pain-free, and hopefully medication-free life you deserve to live. If you'd like even more information on this topic, you can go to Amazon or Audible and pick up my book, Your Plate is Your Fate. And if you think my book helps you on your new health path, please tell your friends and leave a review where you purchased it. Welcome back to another episode of Simple Healthy Choices for Weight Loss. And in today's episode, we've been getting a lot of questions from people about what do we actually eat to try to maintain this low carb or almost carnivore type nutrition that we do. And so that's why we decided to do this. That's why we called it Suggestions for What to Eat on a Low Carb Diet. And so my wife, Theresa, and I both are going to go through this, and she's probably going to do most of the talking on this one since she's the one who makes all of my food. She's so awesome. But basically, the first thing that we found out, say hi, babe.
Oh, hey.
Basically, the first thing that anybody has to do if you really, really want to start eating healthy and becoming younger, healthier, more vibrant and get off your medications, the first thing you always have to do is prepare. So the first thing, after you already know what you want to do, you need to prepare your kitchen as well as your mind for what you're getting ready to do. And basically that means if you've been listening to my podcast, you realize that I am vehemently against all ultra-processed foods. All ultra-processed foods, all the stuff in the box, bottles, bags, and cans, they are all loaded with the same three toxic ingredients: ultra-processed carbohydrates, sugar and high fructose corn syrup, and vegetable and seed oils, which are extremely inflammatory to your body. And everything has this in it. It has all the box bottles and bags and cans, but it's also in all your breads. It's all in all your takeout food. It's just they put these three toxic ingredients in everything. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that you get these out of your kitchen and leave them in the stores wherever they belong, but not in your kitchen. And so the first thing is just going through your cabinets. And we kind of did a podcast about this already, about different things that you can do to get ready for this type of eating. But you've got to get all this food out of your cabinets and out of your refrigerators. And you'll find that when you start eating this way, most of the things that can go in your cabinets are these ultra-processed foods because they're made to do that. They're made to have a long shelf life, which means they get rid of all the healthy things that can actually putrefy and die because those are the healthy living organisms that we should be eating. So you're going to find that once you do what we're getting ready to say, if you truly do it, you won't be getting in your cabinets to get hardly anything anymore unless you're talking about some large fake flake coconut shake or coconut flakes or something like that.
And some seasonings.
Or some seasonings. Mm-hmm. Yeah, things like that. But most of your stuff is really going to be in the refrigerator. So that's the first thing. Go through your refrigerators, go through your cabinets, anything that's in a box, bottle, bag, or can. Look at the ingredients. Get rid of anything that's expired first. Get rid of anything that says it has any kind of a vegetable or seed oil in it. Get rid of anything that says it has high fructose corn syrup in it or any other sugar. And chances are you're going to find out that you just got rid of everything in your cabinets.
We did.
Yeah, we did. We actually got rid of everything. And we didn't realize that we did it until we pulled all the stuff out of the cabinets. We organized it on the counters as far as what was expired, what was stuff that we could keep, and what stuff that we need to throw away. And our stuff to keep was empty. And so we had to look at our shelves and say, well, shoot, now that we don't have any food in here, how can we make better use of these cabinets? And so now we can organize all of our platters and pans and things like that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's the first thing is clear your cabinets.
Right. And then you want to go, if you can, is to go to your local farmer's market and your local farmers and get your meat, eggs, fruits, and vegetables, especially in the summer. Of course, this is the easiest time to be able to do that. And if you can't, then of course, go to the grocery store and then mostly shop the perimeter of your grocery store. So you just want to have just real food, one ingredient food.
Right. One ingredient, healthy food, things that were actually used to be alive, or could still be. Mm-hmm. Those are the things that you want to eat. And so that is your real food, your real meat, your real eggs, your real fruits, your real vegetables. stick with all that kind of stuff. And like Theresa said, really our goal is to never buy food from a grocery store anymore and try to get, we get all our meat, like I said, from local farmers. We know that our meat is grass fed and grass finished meat, and we just buy it, and stick it in our freezer. And then same with our fruits and vegetables. If we can get them from a local grown farmer, that you're biting in season. And that's so important because you're not supposed to be eating these fruits and vegetables, all season long. I mean, you should never be able to just eat strawberries in December. I mean, it's crazy. So think about how we have eaten all the way through time up until we came up with all our ultra processed foods and all this kind of stuff. And that's the way we should be eating and not what we've learned ever since our dietary guidelines.
And so one of the things that we follow, and we know Dr. Bill Schindler, he has a great book out called, and we're going to be interviewing him here soon, but he has a book out called Eat Like a Human. And one of the things that we've heard him talk about on podcasts is, so this can all just seem so overwhelming. It's like, oh my gosh, now I have to do what? How am I going to make my macaroni and cheese or, whatever some of the things are that you love? When we're saying just eat, eggs, meat, fruits, and vegetables, macaroni and cheese isn't on that list. So one of the things that he says is to take one thing that you love and make it healthy. So like one of the things that we love is Mexican food, or at least I know I'm speaking for myself.
I know.
And so, right. So we just took that and just like, how can we make that healthier? Well, for one thing, Mexican food actually isn't that bad. It's the shells, the chips and the shells. So all you have to do is take your hamburger, your refried beans, your avocado, your cheese, lettuce, tomato, salsa, whatever you want on it, and put it in a bowl. So we have like a lot of beef bowls, different things that we like to fix. And you can have a Mexican beef bowl and you don't even have to have chips. We don't even miss it anymore. In the beginning, I know I missed it, but I think it was just a thought I had.
And what she means when she says a beef bowl is we just literally take ground hamburger, put it in a skillet, and we just ground it up. And then we'll put that in a bowl instead of putting it on a shell or something like that. And then sometimes, I don't know if she's probably getting ready to tell you this, but sometimes what she does also is she scrambles eggs, and we mix the scrambled eggs in with our beef bowls. And then you can turn it into whatever you want after that. And that's just the base.
Yeah. And it's just a little bit more protein. And then, of course, eggs are so good for you. And then we add. And so another thing would be like hamburgers or cheeseburgers. You're just going to do the same thing. You're going to ground up that hamburger. You're going to add cheese, mustard, pickles, lettuce, tomato, whatever you like, jalapenos, whatever you like on your hamburger. You're just not going to have the bun.
See, and it's really important. That's what we're saying. People think this is a huge change from the way they usually eat, which if you eat all your stuff out of box, bottle, bun, cans, it will be a huge change. But really, we're saying most things that people eat are fine. Just stay away from the carbohydrates. And that's something just as little as if you're going to have a hamburger, take off the bun. And then don't get the French fries, get steamed vegetables or something like that. And it really does make a difference. You may think, well, please don't think calories. Please do not think this is calories. That is old news. That is gone. It's not calories. It's the type of food that you have. And the fact is, and what your body does with that, anytime you eat a carbohydrate, all carbohydrates their basic building block is glucose. So anytime you eat a carbohydrate, you are causing your blood glucose to rise. When you do that, you cause your blood insulin to rise. When you have a high insulin level, it forces your body to store fat. So even just having a little carbohydrate, like just a little bun on your burger, that bun is glucose. That's actually is going to get turned into glucose, put it in your blood, and raise your insulin levels. Now that your insulin levels are raised, all the other food that you ate with that bun is now damned to be put in fat. It's going to be turned into triglycerides and stored as fat. If you could just keep that bun off there, you're not going to put glucose in your blood. You're not going to raise your insulin levels. You'll keep your insulin levels low. And now all the food that you're eating can actually be utilized the way it's supposed to be used to nourish your body. So even a little bit of carb can raise your insulin level and screw up your whole meal. So just think of that. Look at your meal and say, here is a carbohydrate, and how can I change that to something different? And that's what we'll go through kind of for the rest of this, is different things that we've looked at and what we did to modify it to be healthy.
Right. Oh, another thing I passed over this is like we also eat Greek yogurt. And going back to Dr. Bill Schindler talks about, taking something and making it healthy. So one of the things that we do eat is yogurt. And so I read a book called Super Gut by William Davis, and he talks about making your own yogurt, and won't even go into.
Well, kind of just she learned how to make it, and this is like so easy. It takes about how much time prep?
I don't know. Once you figure it out, about 10, 15 minutes. Yeah.
About 15 minutes. Then
it ferments for 36 hours.
But all that means is you set it in a pot over in the corner of your cabinet and you let it sit there for 36 hours. You are doing nothing. And then at the end of 36 hours, you go and you take it out and you put it in the refrigerator for another 12 hours. That's all it took. So basically it took about 10, 15 minutes and you can have your own much healthier Greek yogurt. Yeah. And we actually mix like a tablespoon of Theresa's yogurt with like a couple tablespoons of like Greek yogurt, like Fauye. I'm not sure how you even pronounce it, but check the yogurts that you get, if you're going to get it from the grocery store. And again, just look at the sugar content because they love to put sugar in everything because they want you addicted and they want you to keep eating their food. So that's why you need to look at all your ingredient lists. And if there's sugar in it, put it back and get something else. But then there's other stuff. Like we also love, and like on the Greek yogurt, that's what I do for my sweet tooth at night. I'll take Greek yogurt and then, I know I've said this in other podcasts, but I get the great big flaked coconut. We get it from Mama Jean's. We just, scoop it into a bag. And I'll take the Greek yogurt and I'll put the great big flaked coconut on there. And then I'll put whipped cream on the top of that. And that is wonderful for me. If you want to add a handful of nuts every now and then, not very often, but every now and then you can do that, or a handful of blueberries every now and then, not all the time. But, that's also stuff that you can do that's healthy also. And the other one of the things that I found, or Theresa found, that I absolutely love is lasagna. Tell me what you do with lasagna.
So I found this recipe online for lasagna, and you make it exactly the same way. The only difference is instead of using the lasagna noodles, you're going to use sliced chicken breast, like the really thin shaved, not necessarily shaved, but very thin chicken breast.
Or turkey breast or whatever, right? Doesn't really matter.
She uses chicken, but it probably doesn't matter because it doesn't have a taste. Even pasta doesn't have a taste. So it just gives you extra protein because you get to have lasagna and you don't have to have any carbs in it.
And what we do is we just go to the grocery store, the deli, and let them shave it for us. We tell them how thick it is and they shave it.
All right. So that makes really good. And it's very filling. It's a very filling dinner. Then you can just have a salad with that.
Yeah.
No bread.
Yeah. No bread with your salad. And then again, we've already talked about hamburgers, whether we eat them at home or whether we eat them out. We don't do the bun. We don't do the fries. We'll do vegetables with that. Or sometimes just hamburgers by themselves. And we'll take like an avocado and cut it open. And I'll just smother the whole top of the hamburger with avocado and then put the same thing. You put the lettuce, tomato, pickles, whatever you want to put on it. There's just no bun. So you eat it with a fork. So it's actually seems more like a meal. And then another super easy thing that we do.
Yeah, we make a roast. And so definitely with the winter coming, I probably do this a couple of times a month easily.
Yeah.
So we'll do a roast, just stick it in the crock pot. We thaw it the night before, put it in the crock pot the next morning. I put a little bit of butter in there with it, or salt and pepper, and then it's done. By the time we get home, we don't add, you can do the potatoes and the carrots. Yeah, that's right. Potatoes or carrots. We just have stopped doing that, but you can make a salad with it or just.
Because remember the potatoes are a starchy vegetable. And so that does have carbs and that will raise your glucose. Right. So it kind of depends on.
If you're really wanting to lose weight.
Right. Where you are, what your goals are. So if you really want to lose a lot of pounds, I would stay away from the carrots, potatoes also until your weight comes down.
Exactly.
And you're going to get all the vitamins and minerals you're going to want out of the fat in the meat. The meat in animal fat is so healthy. It's got the right kind of fat. It's got the right kind of vitamins and minerals. It's got the meat has the right kind of amino acids that human bodies need. So no matter what the food companies and drug companies are trying to tell you, it's a lie because meat is a superfood, just like eggs are.
Yep. And that's another thing, like he was saying, if you're really trying to lose weight to avoid the carbs, once you get down to where you want to be, it's not like you have to live the rest of your life without potatoes or anything, some pasta every now and then. It just can be every now and then. But I think that's a good thing to know. It's like, you can bring these things back in once your weight is off. And then that it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to definitely have lasagna with lasagna noodles or something, I mean, if you want.
Right. You're just going to have to play your own thing.
Yeah, but figure it out for yourself.
Right. And then other things, your regular meat that you always think of, steaks. Make your steak the way you usually make your steak. That's absolutely fantastic type of food. Seafood. We do scallops and shrimp quite a bit. We love seafood. We love scallops and shrimp and salmon. Yeah. So, and all that stuff is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Again, all you're thinking is just stay with chicken. Obviously, you can have all the chicken. Another good snack is like beef jerky. Get the healthy beef jerky. There are, again, you look at some because they know that you love sweet. They know that they have already got everybody so addicted to sweet that there's so many people that if you say, oh my gosh, this tastes good, taste it. If they taste it and it's not sweet, they're like, ooh, this doesn't taste good. They aren't saying, oh, I need sugar, but that's exactly what they're saying without realizing it. So the whole goal is we really want you to get your palate changed off of the taste of sugar. Instead of thinking that sugar tastes good, that you want more and all that, you need to be able, if you taste that taste of sweet in your mouth, just say that's poison. This is sweet, which means it's poison to my body and I don't want it. And if you continue to do this, you will start truly thinking that way. So you're going to have to force yourself to think that way at first because everybody knows sugar tastes good. That's why it's killing us. And there's so many, listen to my other podcasts if you don't understand what I mean by that.
And turkey, you can also eat turkey.
Oh, yeah.
Turkey. Just any meat, lamb. I mean, we never.
Yeah, we don't eat lamb. A lot of people do.
Right. So just any kind of meat, is great.
So don't make it hard. Don't make this hard. I mean, seriously, if there's a meat that you like, eat that meat. If there's vegetables you like, if you don't have a ton of weight to lose, go ahead, eat your fruits, eat your vegetables. Just don't eat a whole lot of them. And stay away from your starchy ones. Stick more like your green leafy vegetables, like what you're going to have in a salad. And that's just because when you're in a starch, that's a lot. That's just a huge concentration of glucose is what starch is. And just so every time you eat it, you're just increasing your blood glucose. And again, blood insulin, which forces you to store fat. So that's why we say, if you've got a lot of weight to lose, you might want to just avoid the fruits and vegetables for a while.
Yeah. And then, like you said, jerky. If you want a snack or something, which try to avoid the snacks because snacks are just pretty much you're bored or it's habit. You don't need a snack. If you're eating some eggs for breakfast and maybe made a good beef bowl for lunch, you don't need a snack in between there. Then you can have dinner or just eating twice a day.
And like we've always said, if you're sticking to just protein for your meals, fat and protein, you're going to find you're not going to need to snack. It really will keep you full for a longer period of time.
And then with, winter, the fall coming up, everybody likes to make chili, which chili is great. You can make it with beans, which is going to add more carbs, or definitely you can make it without beans. And one of the things, because I know I've always liked crackers or chips or something in it, you could crunch up like some pork rinds because chips and things don't have a lot of taste. I guess some corn chips do, but like crackers and things, but the pork rinds, it'll give you that crunch. You just want to keep an eye out when you're looking at pork rinds, make sure if there's any extra sugar or, of course, what they've been fried in.
Right. And that's going to be hard to find. And that's the problem with like pork rinds. That's a problem with a lot, especially if you go out to eat. That's the big problem with getting fried foods because you may even want to get like some fried chicken nuggets or something like that. And the chicken's perfectly fine. It's what they fry it in because most restaurants use the same toxic, inflammatory vegetable and seed oils because they are dirt cheap. They don't even belong in the dirt. These things are horrible. So if they have anything, safflower, soybean oil, canola oil, Crisco, any of that horrible stuff, that's when you might want to put away, go somewhere else or don't get anything fried there. And with these pork rinds, what we have found is some of the bags will tell you what kind of oil is fried in and some bags do not tell you that. So it's kind of a flip of the coin on those, but still pork rinds are going to be a lot healthier for you than crackers. Right, crackers or Fritos or any of the other stuff that you would put in chili. Yeah. And you can even put pork rinds on salads, like instead of croutons, again, because croutons are the same ultra-processed carbs and vegetable and seed oils. And chances are there's a lot of croutons that have sugar in them too because they put it in everything.
Yeah. And then with your salads, if you want to steam your vegetables, saute your vegetables, roast your vegetables, do it in butter and they taste amazing. If you can't get your kids to eat any vegetables at all, then just cook it in butter.
And we are talking about real butter, not butter. Margarine, not any of these trans fats or any of this other Franken butters that they make. Just stick to real healthy animal fat butter. Mm-hmm. And that leads to, unless you have something else, going on to other, and the other healthy fats. Because healthy fat is very important. The fat that's in vegetable seed oils and trans fats are horrible. But healthy fats like avocado oil, coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, and butter. Those are all very, very healthy fats. The fat that's in eggs, the fat that's in real animal meat, like beef fat, which is tallow, or pig fat, which is lard, or Theresa even bought a can of duck fat, and that's what we use. I don't even know, what do you use duck fat for?
Whenever I do our hamburgers, I'll do a little bit of duck fat on the bottom if we're just putting them on the skillet.
Okay. And it is a little bit more expensive, the duck fat, because it is healthy and they make everything healthy, a little bit more expensive. But you don't use that fat, and it's well worth it. Because, again, if you're looking at cost, if you're going to eat all this Franken food with the, box balls, bags, cans, if you're going to eat that stuff, you have got to figure in all the costs of the medications you're taking and are going to take, all the doctor's visits that you go on now and you're going to, and all the hospitalizations. Because that kind of food leads to that. And that's just like I say in one of my talks, there's two huge groups of people out there. There's the ones that are on no medications, no doctor's bills, no hospitalizations, nothing through their life. And they're the ones that eat the real God-made food, real meat, real fruits, real vegetables. And then there's a whole group of people that are on multiple medications, go to multiple doctor's offices and multiple hospitalizations. And those are the people who eat all this processed food. We call them procestivores. So the God-made meat, fruits, and vegetables, those are carnivores, herbivores, and omnivores. People who eat this Franken food, those are procestivores. And you really don't want to be a procestivore. You need to leave that group and spend your money over here on fun things and not on hospitalizations and medical bills.
Mm-hmm.
And
then also, we did another podcast a few weeks back, episode 40, How Can I Eat Keto, Low Carb While on the Road? And so probably have some other suggestions on there that we had talked about that we didn't talk about today, if you want to go listen to that.
Yeah, those are more for while you're traveling, for people like first responders or for over-the-road truck drivers and things like that. So that was episode 40. And so this one, we were going to stick more for just the types of food that you can eat at your house. And really just don't make it hard. It really isn't that hard. You find a meat you like, and you could stop right there. And red meat is going to be better because it does have the good, healthy fat. It's got a lot more fat in it than something like chicken or turkey or something like that. And again, the fat, it contains very good, healthy fats like your anti-inflammatory fats, your omega-3s. It also contains, like I already said, a lot of the vitamins, minerals that we need. And then the protein itself, the actual meat itself, the ones that are in animals, those actually give us the amino acids that we need, because all proteins are broken down to amino acids. So when you're eating this food, you're actually giving your body the nutrients it needs so it can grow, heal, thrive, and survive. When you give your body that Franken food that's in the box balls, bags, and cans, that is not nutrients. That's why you're continuously hungry, because you are not giving your body any nourishment. So your body keeps telling you, I'm still hungry. I'm still hungry. Give me nutrients and give me water. And the more you don't do that, the hungrier you are, and the more of this horrible stuff you get. And then it's a vicious cycle and you're going to be in the hospital. So anyway, don't make this harder than it is. Just eat a meat. And if you want to have the vegetables and fruits, do that. Do them kind of sparingly. And it really depends on how much weight you want to lose.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the hardest thing is to change your thoughts about this whole thing. So, I mean, it really is the key to all of this. Because it's like, why do some people do this and some don't? It is totally your thoughts. If you really, really want to change, you want to feel better, you want to get off your medications, you have to change your thoughts. You can't think that this is going to be hard. You cannot think that at all, because even though it will be hard, you can't be thinking that. The only thing that's going to be hard about it is seriously your thoughts. Just plan ahead. Because when you think a certain way, you are going to feel a certain way. So if you think this is hard, you're going to feel discouraged, and which means you are not going to go and do what needs to be done to start changing the way that you eat. And your result is going to be that you still have got this weight you want to lose, or that you're still feeling unhealthy.
Or you're getting put on more medications.
Right. So just remember that your thoughts. So if there's something you really need to work on, it would be your thoughts. How can you change your thoughts? And, listening to podcasts like Steve's, and just because I do that a lot, it's like you kind of start getting off track. Maybe something's happened. You've gone on vacation, got a little off track. So you want to go back, start listening to podcasts, reading books, just to get your thoughts right. It's like, oh, yes, okay, this is terrible. Carbohydrates are just, killing us, and especially the way they make them today. And so it really is your thoughts. You have got to change your thoughts about this. We talk to so many people and they just don't want to.
Yeah. There's some people
which is absolutely fine.
Yeah, that's your prerogative.
Yeah.
If you seriously don't care about being on medications and doctor bill and hospital bills and you want to keep eating that way, go right ahead. I'd rather you not complain to me about it, but hey, that's up to you.
Yeah.
Do this. And if you do change your thoughts, and another example that we like to use, like a lot of people have the thought that food doesn't taste good unless it's sweet. And it's amazing how many people truly, truly think that. And if you have something that's not sweet, they're going to be like, ooh, that tastes gross. Add sugar to it. But if you can change your thought from thinking that sugar tastes good and that you love this stuff and change it to the reality that sugar is poison and sugar is what's causing all of our obesity, sugar along with the inflammation from the vegetable and seed oils and ultra processed carbs. But if you can taste something sweet and automatically your thought is, oh, this is not healthy for me, this is poison, that's going to make you feel differently about it if you think of it as poison, which it is. And that's going to make your actions say, now I'm not going to buy that. I'm not putting that in my cart, and I'm definitely not putting that in my house. So that's going to change your actions. And if you change those actions, now your results will change. Now you're going to find that you are feeling better. You're feeling younger. You're feeling more vibrant. You've got energy, and you're going to feel amazing. And it all started with changing your thought. So whatever thought that you have that is keeping you from becoming the type of person you want, getting the results you want, figure out what that thought is and change it so it does end up with the result that you want.
Okay. I think.
Is that all you got?
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, we've kept you long enough for today, but we thought, hopefully maybe this will, spark something in somebody's eyes. And if anybody has anything, they've got a really good recipe or anything that they found out that they like to do also, let us know and we'll let everybody know about it.
Yeah. You can definitely tag us on social media at Dr. Steve Hewlett. Let us see what you're doing and some recipes you're making. We'd love to see those.
So that's all we have for today. So once again, thank you so much for listening and have a great week. And remember, make simple, healthy choices to live a quality life. If you enjoyed this podcast, please hit the subscribe button below and be sure to tell someone else who may want to change their health path as well. And don't forget, you can also purchase my book, Your Plate is Your Fate, on Amazon or Audible. And if you do, please leave a review.